Much for joining me. That breaking news at the start of the show, Angus Taylor, first to you. What's your reaction?
Well, I'm not going to advise the Prime Minister on the reshuffle. That'll be up to him, of course. What I would say is that he will place a premium on stability and unity. You know, the last government had no stability and no unity, and of course we have, and that's incredibly important to us. And we've had a government that's been doing an enormous amount, particularly difficult things, and at a time when you're doing difficult things, stability and unity really do count.
Well, you have had the better part of a year without an assistant treasurer, so was the prospects of going to another budget with the status quo remaining just not feasible?
Oh, clearly not. I mean, that's why this has unfolded. You know, that is something that needs to be addressed and will be addressed. But you know, the important thing here is that those in the commentariat love to have a wrenching reshuffle, but I really don't think that's what we need at this point. What we need is stability and unity more than anything else, and I'm sure that's what the Prime Minister will focus on.
Andrew Giles, what's your reaction to Arthur Sinodinos standing down from his Assistant Treasurer role today?
Well, Angus has been talking about stability, and I think the one thing we've seen in about 6 months is how unfortunate the stability of not having an Assistant Treasurer has been in terms of the impact of the budget. And I think when we do look at the broader questions, it should be an opportunity for the government not to just look at personnel, but to look at direction and not to confuse questions of form and questions of substance.
Angus Taylor, what do you make of that? This could really be, if we're talking about a barnacle clearing exercise, this could be really a reset for 2015 with a broader reshuffle. But you've already indicated that you don't expect to see the Prime Minister make a big reshuffle of his cabinet. So do you expect him just to replace that one role?
Oh, look, I'm not going to speculate on what he's going to do. That'll be up to him. Yeah, it's very tempting though, Laura, when you're doing hard things, to jump from one side of the boat to the other. To say, oh well, this is getting hard, so why don't we just run over to the other side of the boat? And that generally doesn't make sense. You know, what we've got to do here is stay the course. Stay right on course with fixing these difficult problems with the budget, and with continuing to follow up on the really important initiatives that we've been pursuing in the last year, like the free trade agreements, like getting infrastructure investment really moving. And
so
you know, stability and unity matters when you're doing those things.
Just to be clear, Angus Taylor, you're happy to sit on the backbench for a little longer because your name is one of these names that's been thrown around for a possible promotion.
Yeah, but you know, I've been in the Parliament for 1 year. I'm enjoying the work I do, and I'll keep enjoying the work I do, Laura. So, you know, what's more important to me here is that we get the right answer for Australia, and stability and unity is the right answer.
Andrew Giles, I just want to change now to the union corruption findings being handed down today. This is an interim report from the Royal Commission. Julia Gillard has been cleared of any criminal misconduct, but her former boyfriend and Ralph Blewett have had charges recommended against them. Now, do you think that is the right outcome? And what do you make of this report also saying that perhaps Julia Gillard, not criminal charges laid against her, but perhaps her judgment was a bit off?
Well, probably I should say at the outset, and you'll no doubt appreciate this, I haven't had an opportunity to read the report, which I think is the better part of 2,000 pages.
Long, so yeah, we wouldn't expect that of you, Andrew.
There's probably three things that need to be said. Firstly, to reiterate what Labor members and I think the President of the ACTU have been saying, Labor has a zero-tolerance approach to criminality, whether it's criminality in trade unions or in corporate Australia or elsewhere. Secondly, I don't think it's helpful or educative for people in our position, members of Parliament, to be providing running commentary on this commission, and this is of course an interim report, not the final report. Lastly, because you've asked an important question about the criminal charges, I am really concerned that we should not be doing anything which could possibly interfere with the exercise of prosecutorial discretion. These are recommendations of a government-appointed commission. They will be taken seriously, I know, but they should be taken seriously by the proper authorities, not by commentators like me.
Angus Taylor, the pressure that was put under Julia Gillard for the last 4 years, 3 years while she was Prime Minister, do you agree was not justified now given the findings of this report?
Oh, look, I think the pressure that was put on her was around her policies in her government, not any of this. I mean, that was the issue.
This did dog much of her prime ministership, though, that she stood up and made that now infamous media conference where she was on her feet for more than an hour. Certainly there was pressure, I agree, from within the party, but also from your side of politics.
Yeah, but the real pressure we put on, Laura, was that they were a disunited, unstable government that wasn't addressing the hard issues Australia needed to address, and you know that is what the election was about, and you know, the result of the election, I think, was a verdict on that from the Australian people.
OK, I want to turn now to this news. Plenty of breaking news today, particularly in Queensland. We've seen Andrew Crook, the media advisor for Clive Palmer, who's been detained by police. His office and home has been raided because of this alleged kidnapping attempt. Andrew Giles, what do you make of this? I mean, you've heard the reports coming through today.
Yeah, well, they're obviously striking reports, and Laura, I'm sorry, but my answer is probably very similar to the answer I've given previously. It's very difficult to say something that doesn't trespass on the matters that are likely to go before the courts, it seems. I mean, these are astonishing allegations, but at the moment they are no more than that.
Angus Taylor, we've heard from Clive Palmer today, who suggested that this is all part of a perhaps conspiracy theory just ahead of the Queensland election.
Oh, look, who knows? I really don't know. I mean, they are astonishing allegations. I don't want to make any more comments on them over and above what Andrew's already said. You know, we know Clive always has something interesting to say about these things, but really, at this point, they're allegations that no doubt will be pursued over the course of time.
Do you think these allegations should affect the relationship the government does have with Clive Palmer?
Oh, no, look, I mean, our relationship with him is about getting important initiatives through the Senate, and it will continue to be, and that's what really counts. You know, we're very, very focused on that. We've done well on that, and I'm sure we'll continue to do that well on that in the next